Okay, so take a second, read through, underline what you think is important, and then come back. Awesome. So looking at this, rate is a ratio. So let's add it to our notes. A ratio can be written as a fraction, right? So can be written as fraction. Right? And it's actually comparing two quantities that have different units, right? So we'll go through a lot of examples. But what you do is you divide, right? And then you're going to be able to find out the unit rate. And the unit rate compares the change. This is the same thing as a rate, except it's just for one, right? So we're talking about miles per hour. That's for 1 hour, right? Dollars per pound. That is for 1 pound, right? So words that you'll see for unit rate is per, each, every, or for every, right? Something like that. Right, so you look miles per hour, miles each hour, miles for every hour, right? And then you're looking at for one, right? For 1 hour. So when you're driving, you're seeing the speedometer, so this is called, right? And it's like 65 miles per hour. That means for every hour, if you go that same rate, then you're gonna drive 65 miles. Right? And in this sense, this is how like Google Maps works. They can figure out how long it's going to take you there based off of your speed, about what you're doing, right? And they compare that to how many miles you need to go, right? Or when you're in the grocery store, you can actually look at like the cost of things and then compare them one to the other to see which one's cheaper based off of the unit rate, right? Because if you're buying something with different quantities, it's hard to be able to compare which one's cheaper. But if you're able to divide and find out how much it is for one, it's going to make your life a lot easier, right? So what you do for this is you divide, right? So it looks for 3,000 miles in 5 hours and uses 6,000 gallons of fuel, right? So you have 6,000 gallons for 5 hours, right? How do you do this? You want to divide, right? And since you want the denominator to be 1 for 1 hour, what you're going to do is you're going to divide by 5 over 5, right? 6,000 divided by 5 will give you 1,200. 5 hours divided by 5 will give you 1 hour, right? So you're looking at for every hour. That means this plane, right, will use 1,200 gallons of fuel of gas in 1 hour. That's a lot, right? Or you can use the same thing, 6,000 gallons for every 3,000 miles, right? And then to find the unit rate, you want to divide by the denominator. So divide by 3,000 over 3,000, right? And oh, look, this is a giant 1. This one too, giant 1, right? So that means the plane will use 2 gallons of fuel for every mile, right? And then you can also see that it travels. This is a lot of information, right? So using the other information, 3,000 miles in 5 hours, right? Same thing, divide by 5 over 5. This is my big 1, right? And then you can see that 3,000 divided by 5, this will give you 600 miles for every hour, right? That's why they use so much gas. Okay. We're going to do some examples on Edpuzzle, so go ahead and